Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here. Got another gym video for you guys, and this one is going to be a heavy volume deadlift workout that I did, which basically involved me doing 100 bazillion deadlifts that got to fairly heavyweight. Obviously not like the heaviest that I've ever deadlifted in my life, but rebuilding this deadlift slowly but surely, and feeling pretty good doing it. The main thing for me right now is making sure that I'm using form that feels good to me in terms of feeling solid and having the weight be where it needs to be, so mostly trying to flex my back against the weight, make sure that I'm using my back to hold the weight, not my hands or my arms or something like that, and making sure that when I'm actually driving the weight up, it's mostly kind of feeling that in my legs. Honestly, when I really nail a deadlift, I feel like I'm pulling well with my back, mostly like my upper back into my traps and my lats. Everything stays really tight there, and then I'm able to drive really effectively with my legs as well. And I don't mean quite to get low enough to squat the weight, because once I start doing that, I feel like I almost get out of position. My back feels weird. I don't really feel as strong. But what you'll notice is, at least I'm trying to make a concerted effort to not fire my legs up too quickly, not straighten my legs out too quickly. I think I used to deadlift like that when I first started, is my legs would straighten out really quickly, and then I would try to sort of crane the weight up with my back. And I'm focusing on not working with quite as heavy weight, but trying to get my form better so that it's more of like a smooth process where as my legs are straightening out, I'm also, you know, pulling with my back, and things are almost, the lift is almost ending at the same time, if that makes sense. It's not like a 1-2 sort of thing where your legs straighten out and then you crane the weight up. It's like my legs straighten out as my back is also pulling the weight, and I get to the top of the lift right at the same time almost. And that way, not only do I feel like effective with that, not only do I feel like I'm putting the weight on the right muscles, basically, like I'm supporting the weight with the right muscles, it also really keeps my lower back out of the movement. I feel like a lot of people might get scared of deadlifts because they think it's going to hurt your lower back. I feel like if you protect your lower back with your legs and with your upper back and pulling properly, then you're going to have your back be pretty safe. This workout was actually a result of me going in for leg day and doing a few squats and then feeling like my back was a little tight, because over Thanksgiving I did my normal squat workout, like high volume squat workout with fairly heavy weight with no belt, and wasn't a huge deal, but my back is just a little bit tight from that still, like a week later. So just my right lower back, if that makes sense, just a little tight. So it's like, well, squats feel kind of weird. I don't really want to go much heavier on squats today. Why don't we do some deadlifts instead? So we hit up some deadlifts, and kind of counterintuitive when you think about, like, well, if your back hurts, if your lower back hurts, why are you going to do deadlifts? But it actually helps out a lot, because if you do deadlifts right, it protects your lower back, at least the area that was a little bit sore from squatting. So worked out well for me. My overall progression with deadlifts right now is, like I said, it's focusing on form, it's focusing on making sure everything's solid, and just basically putting work on my muscles doing this deadlift movement. Because I say this every time, but I took deadlifts out of my program when I was competing for my physique show. It was all worth it because we won, but I felt like if I was feeling shaky on anything, it was deadlifts. So now that we're eating a little bit more food, getting a little bit more strength going, I think now is a perfect time to put deadlifts back into the routine. And I've been doing them a fair amount, you know, once or twice a week at least, and slowly but surely getting the form together. The strength will come eventually, I'm sure. You'll see me pushing or pulling a little bit more weight near the end of this, and just in general, like, I've even recently done more weight on a deadlift workout than I'm doing today. Like, this right here is 275, but I'd already squatted before this, so I guess that's okay that I'm not doing my absolute heaviest weight. But I think what I did for this workout was 275, 5x5 maybe. We'll have to look at this one, see if I do 5 or 6. But either way, I did some work with 275. Then I did some work with, I think, 295. And then I did a few sets with 315. And then I did one at 365. But I think, yeah, probably what I did here was like 6x6 of 275. And then 5x5 of 295. Because I don't know what I was doing. Just wanted to do deadlifts, I guess. That's why I'm doing a billion deadlifts today, I guess. But once we got done with the 275, did 5x5 with 295. I think maybe, was it, I want to say it's 3x3 with 315, but I know I did like 5 with 315 too. So I really don't, like, there's some organization to this deadlift workout. I don't know what it was. But it was basically just going to the gym and doing 100 billion deadlifts, which ended up feeling pretty good. So one of the nice things about deadlifts for me is it still is definitely a movement and an exercise that's going to help my legs get stronger and grow. But as I've talked about a lot in these gym videos, I think looking at my physique that I had in the 2015 Men's Physique Championship that I won, oh baby, I like to drop that in whenever I can. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I'm sure you did. But I think one of the big areas of improvement that I could see, or the areas that needed improvement, were my upper back, just my back in general, and my shoulders. And for me, like, when I think about upper back, I'm talking about like the middle of your back, your connection with your shoulders, but also your traps. And for me, I can shrug all day, and I do a ton of trap work, like focus stuff. But I think the one thing that helps my lower back, not my lower back, my upper back, and my traps grow is deadlifts. And if you do them right, if you lock in the deadlift, and you'll see me starting to do it a little bit more when it gets heavier, is when I lock this thing in with my lats, and make sure everything's really solid before I go up. I end up actually having my lats be a little bit sore after the workout, because it's not, they're not really like the sort of stretch and squeeze hypertrophy style, but you're asking your back to support a whole lot of weight, which helps keep your lower back out of the movement, but definitely puts a lot of strain, good strain, I would say, on your upper back. Okay, so now we're in 315, doing whatever it is that I'm doing here. But you can see me really making a dedicated effort to lock in right here with my lower lats and support my arms with that, but also just provide like a nice upper back shelf that the weight can sit on, which allows my legs to drive through and my upper back to drive up, so that I'm completing the movement of a deadlift while keeping my lower back out of the movement, basically. So I'm not sure how much I did with 315. It looks like I might have done that first one for 5, because 315 for 5 is definitely something I can do, but I'm not going to go for that every workout, especially because during the wintertime and me just in general, I definitely like to get a nice, long warm-up, and I want to be really warm before I start going for these heavy weights, because I'm just a baby. I know I'm in California, like, it's not cold here, but I still whine about the cold. Like, if it's like below 70, I start getting fussy about the cold. So I've always been somebody who likes to get super warm before my workouts, and definitely don't want to be lifting weight like this when I'm cold, because I'm not that strong, but we're getting there. I think I did this for 3, which was after a billion deadlifts and some squats. It was pretty heavy, but I'm glad we got it up there, and I put together a pretty solid deadlift workout. So gonna keep working on these deadlifts, guys. Gonna get stronger eventually. Gonna grow eventually, and I'll keep you guys around for the journey as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!